What are you doing? With regard to sneakers, sneaker collecting in this current cost of living crisis we are in. Sorry to put you on the spot there. I've been taking a look around at some research out there and I've been polling you guys myself over on Instagram. Thank you guys very much for your engagement. And in today's sneaker discussions, I want to talk about how the cost of living crisis is affecting sneakerheads and how it has kind of changed the entire sneaker landscape as we know it in 2023. Hello everybody, it is me, Jordan Young, aka Sneakernomics, back with another certified sheesh-worthy bus and banger. No cap, hat, and or fedora, and this is on God. I have just recently sliced my finger, but fear not, it will no doubt heal very soon and I will be able to point out replica sneakers as I see them on the streets of London very soon. So it's no secret the cost of living has been affecting all of us, unless of course you are one of those wankers that is doing just as good if not better than before. And so for some of you, your spending habits probably haven't changed up at all, but for the vast majority of people, buying sneakers week in and week out is a thing of the past. And so these are some of the things that sneakerheads out there are doing in order to keep enjoying this wonderful hobby, but also effectively absorb the spiraling inflation and just increased cost of basically everything. One of the main things that I see people doing, and one of the things that I've been doing a lot myself, is just buying less and being a lot more selective with my purchases. Sneaker collecting has been in recent years all about volume. Every single release, especially hype releases, have been must-cops. But nowadays there's a feeling out there like less is more. I mean, the frequency of drops is at such a high tick-over rate these days that it's just impossible to keep up with every other sneaker release that's going down, it feels like every other day. When I think about all the sneakers that I've bought over the past few months, there really has only been a handful, and they've all been sneakers that I have genuinely really wanted. What are you guys doing out there? Are you guys being a little bit more selective with your purchases these days? Let me know. Another thing that a lot of people are doing out there is actually financing their shoes, the buy now and pay later, whether it's Klarna or finance options. And this is kind of an interesting one because when I was young, we used to have a system called lay-by. I think in America it's called layaway, where you would basically reserve the item that you wanted and you would put down a deposit and you would just pay it off over a number of days or weeks or months or whatever, but you wouldn't actually be able to get the item until it had been fully paid off. Whereas we seem to be in a inverse situation where you can get the item now, but you're gonna have to pay it off over time. I can understand how this would be an attractive option for people out there who don't want to necessarily outlay a big chunk of change on a pair of shoes, but it's definitely not an option that I myself would opt for. What do you guys think about buy now, pay later? Let me know. It seems like there's a big revival with just GR sneakers. The GRs have kind of been frowned upon in recent years while we've been in the midst of this sneaker hype culture where all of the limited releases have been coveted in favor of GRs that have been sitting. But a lot of sneakerheads out there seem to be opting for these cheaper and more available GRs to build up a wider rotation. I think a lot of people out there like the idea of having 5 pairs for $100 each rather than 1 pair for $500 on the resale market. Have you guys gotten back into GRs a little bit more recently? Let me know. A lot of people are really going in heavy on the used market at the moment. It really is a buyer's market on places like eBay especially, with a lot of people sitting on stockpiles of shoes that they've been buying over the past 3 years while the sneaker boom has been booming, and they're now looking to cash out parts of their collection in order to pay bills or keep up with the cost of living. And so the used market is absolutely saturated with really good deals right now. Now, I've always been a huge fan of the used market. I love apps like eBay, and because they have the authentication guarantee service now, you can buy on there with a lot more confidence, especially compared to the past when it was like a bit of a minefield for fakes. I've seen a lot of people buying really old, used, beaten up shoes and then getting into restoring them, cleaning them up, freshening them up. And I actually think this is one of the best ways to build up a sneaker collection. If you are young and you're getting into it and you don't have a lot of money, learn how to paint, learn how to clean and restore shoes, get yourself some old beaters that still have some life left and bring them back and enjoy them. Replicas. A lot of people out there have been enticed into the replica market to save a whole heap of money on the resale market. Now, I'm not gonna lie, if I was a lot younger and I didn't have a whole heap of money, or I just didn't feel like spending a whole heap of money on these shoes, I can totally understand wanting to buy these replicas that, let's face it, are pretty much bang on when it comes to the quality and the shape. And whilst I don't encourage or recommend anybody to buy reps, I'm certainly not going to hate on anybody for going that route. And finally, the resale market in general is down. Now, of course, there are going to be a select few pairs of hyped up kicks that have been made in extremely limited quantities that everybody wants. I'm thinking about shoes like the Harito Dunks, some of the New Balance Joe Fresh Goods collabs, Tiffany Air Force Ones. Those types of shoes are still commanding a massive premium on the resale market. But generally speaking, it is a great time to be a sneaker collector if you are looking to cop on the resale market. It's not as great if you are maybe a budding or aspiring sneaker reseller. I mean, I can't believe shoes like the Reimagined 3s are pretty much going for retail. And in some cases, paying the resale is actually preferable to paying the retail. I'll give you an example. Here in the UK, there are a few select retailers that run raffles for hyped up sneakers. And the only way that you can get your hands on the sneakers if you win the raffle is to actually physically pick them up on location. This means traveling from around the country to London, which can actually be quite expensive. And so paying the resale for a particular pair of sneakers can actually be cheaper than buying the shoes for retail, with the added knock-on price of travel and food, etc. And so with the resale market in a bit of a slump, it is a really good time to be a collector. And that is today's sneaker discussion, fam. Thanks very much for watching. If you made it this far, be sure to like the vid. Let me know in the comments what you guys are doing with the whole market down and the game going through like a contraction or an inhalation or a mini recession or whatever you want to call it. Are you buying low now on the dip? Have you consolidated what you do have and gone on a bit of a sneaker diet like I have? Are you being more selective with your stuff? Are you selling up bits and pieces of your collection? Are you trading more? What are you up to deal with the cost of living crisis as a sneakerhead? Always love reading your guys' comments, and I'm always vibing with the engagement. Really appreciate the support on the channel. Take care for now, guys, and peace.